Picture this. You're in the batter's box, hard hammering. The pitcher winds up, the ball floats in, and then, poof. It vanishes. Or it dances. Maybe it dives. For 24 seasons, that's what hitters were up against with Phil Niekro. This was a guy who took a pitch most people just mess around with in the backyard and turned it into a Hall of Fame career. And get this. He won 121 games after he turned 40. Phil Niekro, or Knucksy, as folks fondly called him, wasn't just some pitcher, he was a baseball marvel. Armed with the knuckleball, probably the most unpredictable pitch out there, he put together an epic 24-season run in Major League Baseball. We're talking a whopping 318 wins, over 3,000 strikeouts, and a legacy that, much like his famous pitch, just floated right into Cooperstown. So, what's the big deal with the knuckleball anyway? Well, it's thrown with hardly any spin, often by digging your fingernails into the seams. This makes it move all over the place, a total nightmare for hitters, and sometimes even for the catchers. Bobby Mercer once said trying to hit it was like trying to eat Jell-O with chopsticks. Spot on. Phil Niekro didn't invent the knuckleball, but you could say he pretty much perfected it. He actually learned it from his dad, a coal miner who loved baseball, right in their backyard in Ohio. This pitch, which started as kind of a fun little trick, became Niekro's golden ticket. While other pitchers were all about power or sharp breaking stuff, Niekro, he was about fooling you, about that knuckler doing its physics-defying dance. Speed wasn't his game, making the ball do the impossible was. And man, did he make it work. He really lifted the knuckleball's reputation in pro baseball, right alongside his brother, Joe, who threw a mean one too. Niekro didn't become a star overnight. No siree. He actually spent 6 years in the minor leagues, working on that tricky knuckleball. He finally made his MLB debut at 25 in age when a lot of guys are already making their mark. But, Knucksy, he was just warming up. By 1967, he was leading the National League with an incredible 1.87 ERA. Then, just 2 years later, in 1969, he had a massive season, 23 wins, and he led the Braves to a division title. That's when everyone knew he was the real deal. Throughout the 70s, Niekro was an absolute workhorse. Get this. From 1977 to 1979, he averaged a mind-boggling 336 innings pitched per year. In 1979, at 40 years old, he led the league in wins, 21, and losses, 20. Which just shows you how much he pitched, often without a ton of run support. He was a 5-time All-Star, grabbed 5 Gold Gloves for his fielding, and even tossed a no-hitter back in 1973. He wasn't just a pitcher, he chewed up innings, he competed like crazy, and he was the rock of the Braves pitching staff for 2 whole decades. You know, the knuckleball is famously easier on a pitcher's arm, and Niekro was living proof. He pitched until he was 48. Let that sink in. 48. He's got the MLB record for the most wins, 121, and innings pitched, 1,977, after turning 40. His stamina was just unreal, racking up 5,404 career innings pitched. That's the 4th highest ever and the most for any pitcher who started in the live ball era. Getting to 300 wins is a huge deal for any pitcher, and Niekro's the only knuckleballer who ever did it. His 300th win in 1985, when he was with the Yankees, was pure Niekro. He threw a shutout against the Blue Jays, and in a classic Niekro move, he barely threw his knuckleball until the very last batter. Then, he struck out Jeff Burroughs with it to nail the milestone. Talk about a perfect ending to that chapter of an already amazing career, pushing him to his final 318 career wins. Phil Niekro's impact went way beyond just wins and strikeouts. He made the knuckleball cool again, inspiring new waves of pitchers to give the quirky pitch a shot. He and his brother Joe? They hold the MLB record for the most wins by brothers, an incredible 539 victories combined. Off the field, Knucksy was known as a genuinely good guy, a real sportsman. He was a humanitarian, even won the Roberto Clemente Award. And get this, he managed the Colorado Silver Bullets, an all-women's pro baseball team in the 90s. The Atlanta Braves retired his number 35, a really nice tribute to a guy who gave so much to the team and the sport. Phil Niekro's Hall of Fame career? It's just a fantastic example of being clever, sticking with it, and having a deep love for baseball. For 24 seasons, his dancing knuckleball absolutely mystified the best hitters on the planet, carving his name, Knucksy, into baseball history forever. 318 wins, over 5,400 innings, and a legacy as the king of the knuckleball. That's Phil Niekro, a true baseball original. If you love hearing about baseball's one-of-a-kind legends and the masters who stood the test of time, do us a favor. Subscribe, like and share this video, and click on the notification bell. And don't forget to click on the playlist above to watch more MLB Hall of Famers of his era. Thanks for watching.